many affordable housing developments, new construction developments have you seen in the last few years?
Like none.
Like none. Like none. And
Yeah.
why? Because you can't afford to build
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's getting less affordable to build. And so what does the government do? The government makes it more and more cumbersome to build properties. You would think that when they sit down with all of their intelligence that they got at their Ivy League schools, that they would be able to say, hey, if we make it easier and more affordable for people to actually build where we need affordable housing, we might get more affordable housing. But
Yep.
that's not what they do. They penalize people instead.
Makes no sense.
I literally don't come on here, Heather, and think to myself, I'm going to beat up on government. They're involved in so.
Well, interestingly, I had a client whose property was for rent and being marketed, and it was a higher end property, so a higher leasing price, I guess, that they were advertising. And so they posted on Facebook Marketplace, and a bunch of people commented because, there's this movement of also people who are really frustrated about increasing costs and increased rents. And everyone just kept commenting how ridiculous it was, the price. That was about 2 weeks ago. And so the property manager shared this with the owner. The owner was anxious, and I just said, look, there's always going to be those people that want to rent that house and can't afford it. So just give it a minute. And sure enough, it rented this week, right? And right about where we wanted it to. So it's just interesting because you also have that wave and that movement of disgruntled tenants, that are wanting to find a place to live. And so you have this supply and demand issue that Seattle, I'm thinking, man, 10,000 units. If I was someone that wanted to rent in Seattle, I'd be feeling a lot of stress. Like you said, the prices are going to have to go up, and it's going to be harder to find a place to live. So,
Yep. They're creating more of a problem by trying to solve problems. The market will fix these problems.
mm-hmm.
Look, if I have a dilapidated apartment building and someone else has a nice apartment building, I'm not going to get the best tenants.
Yeah.
And I'm going to struggle to get tenants anyway, because anyone's going to want to try to move up into the nicer units.
Mm-hmm.
And the market's going to fix that. I do think that there ought to be something that says you can't have holes in the roof and it raining in on people, right? But man, short of that, a comfortable place for people to live, let the market dictate, because the market will fix it if the government will just get the hell out of the way.